Hello and welcome to another episode of the Naughty Numerology podcast, where I help you to decode the matrix as well as your own spiritual awakening through numerology news and a lot of nonsense. I, as always, am your host, Rothy. I am the numerologist and intuitive that's taking you on this journey, right? What we do here is basically we decode different people's numerology. Sometimes we do dates, sometimes we do happenings, right? Basically, I help to decode the matrix for people, and that's what we're going to do today. And today's episode is going to be a bit different for several reasons, and I'll explain. But in a nutshell, this is the numerology of Kyrie Irving, Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James.
I will call Kyrie the wizard all the time. Like, all the time. Like, there was nothing on the basketball floor that Kyrie couldn't do. And sitting here watching it, you know, I'm playing like so happy and so proud and to watch him and continue his growth and whatever the case may be. And at the same time, I'm so mad at the same time that I am not his running mate anymore. So I'm like, I just remember those times. And to back to what you were saying, JJ, like to have a guy like Kyrie Irving as the ultimate wild card, that's like having it's like having a draw four in your hand every time someone deals you cards in Uno.
Anyone in here has ever lost a mentor, lost someone that's a little bit older than that meant something to them. Even if you guys didn't talk every day, there was still that connection that they were always going to be there for you. And it wasn't just him, it was his family as well. They supported me unconditionally, and I miss him every single day, just alongside the rest of the world and all the Kobe supporters around the world, because he held such a big presence, and he knew what his power was. He knew what his superpowers were, and they weren't on the court all the time. They were his ability to approach life and how he inspired you to continue to do extra even when you got tired. And I think his life lessons transcended basketball or any sport or any entertainment business. It really helped and sparked the new brains for this next generation to carry the torch. And that's what I felt like he was teaching me, was to be able to carry the torch and also know how to pass it along. You know, obviously along that journey, he's won a few championships that I'm still enamored with, still chasing to a certain degree. I do want to be able to sit at that table to say that I have multiple championships and I'm a multiple champion in the best league in the world. But I think in the small dose of truth, he always reminds me to enjoy the journey. The journey is a reward, and put it in perspective. You know, there are billions of people that are going to love you. There are billions of people that are not going to love you. So I think you should make the right choice to stick to your gun, to go with the people that support you through and through, and make them proud and make yourself proud. So every day he walks with me in spirit, and I feel his presence every day. And I'm just grateful that I got a chance to get to know somebody like that, and I got a chance to challenge somebody like that, to one-on-one, and just to pick his brain, and just understand that there are bigger things than just the game of basketball, like women empowerment, and also doing the little things that a lot of people don't see, meaning helping the world selflessly. So I could go on and on about this, but he helped out a lot of people that no one really knows about, and he did things without anyone's praise. So I try to follow in that same lineage and create my own path, and create my own formula to success while also commemorating his formula that he gave me.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Just had a different type of mentor-mentee relationship, and that's why he gave me The Alchemist. It's like the journey is the reward. Embrace the journey. Don't think about the end goal so much where you're fixated on trying to prove people wrong or be at the mountaintop without going through the details that it takes to really appreciate it. So that was him, and his mentorship was like, yo, stay curious, bro. I know you're different. I know you're different. You're not like everybody else out here, so you're not gonna ask the same questions. And I loved making him laugh because everybody would always see Kobe as being very serious.
Who would be, like you had MJ, who would be that mentee for you?
Yeah, I have a few of them.
Kyrie certainly. I mean, I remember sitting on the couch at home after Cleveland came back from that 3-1 deficit and beat Golden State. Mm-hmm. And we're watching the game, and we're sitting on the couch, and me and Gianna are there just kind of hanging out. And then my phone rings, and it's FaceTime call, and I'm like, I hate FaceTime calls. Like, don't FaceTime call me, unless it's my family, right? But it's Kyrie. Like, all right, let me pick it up. I pick it up, and Kyrie's in the locker room celebrating on FaceTime. I'm like, dude, it worked. Your advice worked. You know what I mean? Like, he's completely freaking out. He's like, hey, Gigi. And Gigi's like, hey, congratulations. He's like, oh, my God. And, like, champagne spilling all over the place. So I was really, really proud of him. But so I'd say Kyrie's probably the one I'm closest to.
Just the last few days of just trying to get ready for a moment like this. But I just got to let it be, let it flow. And, I know he's down watching as well as Gigi, as well as the young ball players that were on the plane as well. I was just with them at the Mamba Academy, working out with them in the summertime as well. Those young girls losing their lives. So it's heartbreaking for all of us, but I'm not the only one dealing with something. So I think the most beautiful thing is that it's connecting all of us, and his seeds that he's planted in all of us could continue to grow, and his legacy is going to live on forever, obviously. But that man was a philosopher. He was a teacher. He left so many great things here for us to follow, and I'm just going to continue to carry the torch.
Nothing is easy about this week, and specifically having to make those comments after this win. Yeah. I think your words are going to comfort a lot of people, so thank you for taking the time.
Yeah. No, thank you. Thank you.
Mark.
Today will forever remain in my memory of those certain days that something very big happened to me or impacted me and taught me something on my spiritual journey, especially through numerology. And today is one of those days. Today is a full circle moment and day. What is today's date? Today's the 4th? Today's the 4th. June 4th. Okay. Today's a full circle day. Let's talk about it. For those of you not familiar with me or what I do, I'm a numerologist, and I'm also an empath who had a spiritual awakening where all these abilities started to manifest back in 2019. I now do charts and help people understand it, etc. Numerology is the absolute fundamental truth to everything that is, and I can prove it. Numerology is one of the pieces of proof to the simulation, and I can prove it. How do we know this? Everything is energy. Everything and everyone is energy. We know that now, down to a molecular structure. Everything and everyone is energy, a frequency. Even a dead body is a frequency of like about 15. How do we quantify frequency in its different forms? Through numbers. Therefore, everything and everyone is numbers. In the simulation, numerology is how this video game called our reality, our life, our simulation, our matrix, it's how it's coded. We know now through the double slit experiment that when the observer is not present, that part of the molecular structure of the reality of mass, right, is not there. That means if there's a ghost town and there is absolutely nobody there to witness it or to observe it, that part of reality ceases to exist. It crumbles back into the matrix somehow, and that energy goes to create something somewhere else where it's being observed. This is what the double slit experiment proved. Go look it up if you don't believe me, okay? So numerology is the fundamental truth to the binary coding that is not only our reality, but it's also the binary coding to our avatars, as well as our soul's experience in this life. It's how I've been able to tell hundreds, if not thousands, of complete strangers across the world so many private things that I should not know about them, just by knowing their names and birth dates, okay? The numbers are right every single time. It's how I've been able to predict certain happenings in life, including Maui, okay, last year. Have videos on all of this stuff. Feel free to go look at that stuff. Okay. So today this full circle moment hit me really, really big because numerology is it's like counting to infinity. You're never going to get to the end of it, right? So there are things that I continue to learn as I go along, as I do people's charts, as I continue to do these posts. There are things I continue to learn, and today was one of those days, right? Super significant to the point to where, and those who are familiar with me understand, I've said it before, I, as an intuitive, as an empath, oftentimes channel through emotion, which results and manifests in tears. I can't help it. It's something I hate because it happens often, because it's how I channel in ways. I will do my best to hold myself back from that. But I have done this video already once. There was technical difficulties with it, and it took me 30 minutes to get my emotional self together before even starting to try to do it, because that's how hard it hit me. When I remembered, I was like, oh shit. So let me explain. Okay, we'll get there. Let's go over the fundamental basics of numerology and charts and how they work so that I can get into the story of their numbers, right? We all have 5 placements in our chart, right? You have your life path and your birth date. These are derived from your actual date of birth. They cannot change. This is important for later on. That is who you are. You will always be that. There is no changing it, right? Can't change your birth date. Whereas you have your expression, heart, personality, or perception number, and then your heart's desire number. And those 3 numbers are derived from the spelling of one's name. So if somebody changed their name, they can absolutely change those other 3 numbers and how their whole chart is impacted, right? In fact, some numerologists do prescribe to their clients to change certain spellings of their names or take certain names out completely because everything is energy, even words, even letters. Keep this in mind, guys. Okay? So, assuming that everything that I say in this is okay, again, you can go do your due diligence, learn how to decode yourself and look up these numbers yourself. Everything that I'm saying, I've not only made videos on these same numbers many times in the past, but like I'm right every time because the numbers are right every time. I just want to emphasize this because I don't want people to think that I'm being extra because of being emotional about this. You have to understand, I am seeing this from a completely different perspective through spirit and what it has to do with and what it entails and who it has to do with. Being able to see the full story is absolutely incredible. And only, like, I'm one of the few people on the planet that can see this in this way. And everything in me wants to scream it to the world and show it to you. I wish I could make a movie out of what I see, you know? So this is my best way to do that, is to tell the story to you through the numbers. And this is the most fucking incredible story I've ever come across in my life. And I just want you guys to understand it and see it so badly from my eyes. What's going on? What's really happening? If you keep in mind, everything is energy. What's another word for energy? Spirit. Spirit. What do we know about energy? It cannot be created nor destroyed. It's always been, it always will be. Energy does not die. Okay? Keep this in mind. In addition to the fact that we are coded through our numbers. Who we are coded through our numbers. Okay, so we have those 5 placements in our charts, right? And those 5 placements can have one of 12 digits in their chart. You can have 1 through 9, those are the cardinals, the basic numbers. Or you can have one of the masters, 11, 22, and 33. That's it, right? There's no angel numbers, no triple digit numbers, none of that. Just 1 through 9, the cardinals, and then 11, 22, and 33. Now, of course, 11, 22, and 33, we're not going to deduce those in the charts, but in how I categorize the numbers into groups, we will, right? So 11 just becomes 2, 22 just becomes 4, and 33 just becomes 6, right? And I'm grouping these into 3 sets of numbers. You have the leaders, which is the 1, the 4, and the 7. Take a look at the shapes of the numbers as I talk about them, right? You got the 1, hard line, rigid, no curves whatsoever, right? Same with the 4, same with the 7. Those 3 numbers have 0 curve to them at all. So that's why they're the leaders, the hard, rigid line numbers. The 1 is the father. The 1 is the alpha, right? The beginner, the initiate, it's the CEO. It's a protector, but it's a provider. It's also very unique and different, the one and only. I'm a birthday one, so I'm very weird in ways, right? So very unique, not afraid to blaze our own paths. That's the one, kind of Jerry Maguire in a way. Okay. And then you have the 4, which is like the director of operations, right? It's the leader of the people. If you were to knock that 4 over, it's going to be corralling people in a certain direction. So, and then you have the 7, which is like the executive producer, more of a behind the scenes kind of ghostwriter type leader, right? But very smart. It's also strategy and secrets. Okay. Then you have the lovers. The lovers are the 2, the 6, and the 9. Look at the shapes of them. The 2, if you were to knock the 1 over on the 2, it's going to bounce it back up. That's the lover, the mother, the nurturer, the Venus energy, right? It's unity. It's bringing together. It's oneness, right? Then you have the 6, which is the love of home and family and tradition, rituals, that sort of the things that are sacred to the home and family. Look at the shape of the 6. It's like a seat, a big comfy seat that's just gonna like hug you, you know? And then you have the 9, which is like the opposite of the 6, 11 on the clock. The opposite of the 6 in the fact that it's, you know, upside down, but that's the closer. The 9 is also the omega. It's the end of the cardinals, but it's also the healer. It wants everybody to win. It is the shapeshifter. It's able to transmute its energy into every other number's energy a lot more easily than the rest of us because it wants everybody to win, right? And this is important. Then we have the legends. So we've got the leaders, the lovers, and the legends. And the legends are the 3, the 5, and the 8. Look at those big body bottoms on those numbers. Big round bottoms on all 3 of them. The 3 is like a big set of boobs. The 5 is like a big belly girl. And then the 8 is like big wilding out on all sides, right? And we'll talk a little bit about those numbers and their energies, but that's kind of how I group the numbers as the cardinals, okay? All right. So what happened today? What happened today was I was going to do a Kyrie Braun review. And then I saw, I think it was on Kyrie Wild on Instagram, one of the Kyrie site pages. It was several reels of him talking, about his relationship with Kobe. Now let's go back. And I've said this in other videos, I said this even in the Kobe video that I made 3 years ago. That's the center of this whole thing right now, okay? The whole reason this thing is a full circle moment is the Kobe Bryant reading that I did 3 years ago. I will post the link. I will include the link here so you can go watch it if you want. But basically, I was going to do Braun and Kyrie. And then I saw on this Kyrie Instagram page these reels about him talking about Kobe, right, and his relationship. I am a proud bandwagoner. When it comes to NBA, I have said many times, I am not a fan of basketball. I'm a Cowboys fan. That's normally what I'm into. I became a fan of Kyrie Irving when he refused to take the jab and risked everything to stand on truth like that. That's when I was impressed with him. And that's the whole reason I continue to be impressed with him. In the moment that he came down here, I called that, you know, he's going to take us to the championship and we're going to win the finals. Like I called that back then. As soon as he came down, I said, he's going to take the Mavs all the way. And Um, I'm I'm sorry. I'm blown away by what I have rediscovered today. You ever like hide something like so valuable from yourself and you forget about it, and then one day you're like, "Whoa, completely forgot I shoved $1,000 in my panty drawer," type shit. Like, wow, I forgot I did that. I'm so glad I like you. This was one of those moments for me as a numerologist in going back and watching my old Kobe Bryant reading. I have been wondering, again, I'm a bandwagoner. I only became a fan of Kyrie's because of his stand. I am not impressed. I have worked with professional basketball players, NFL players, etc. I've dated professional athletes. Like, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed with people because of their celebrity. I am obsessed with Kyrie Irving because of his spiritual authority. The man is spiritually powerful. He is a warrior, and he's sent here for humanity as a basketball player. I know that sounds insane. I'm going to prove it to you. I'll prove it to you. Through his coding. Remember, everything's energy. I found the codes. I found the binary codes and the hacks to who we are and how we are and why we are. So, with this being said, I had completely forgotten about Kobe's and what Kobe's were. You have to remember, like, I do so many readings that even like the big ones, like, they don't stand out. I don't watch my old shit, I just saw that reel today and realized, wow, they were actually really good friends, and that was his mentor. Like, I had no clue about that. As much as I love Kyrie Irving, like, I didn't know that, right? Until today. So I'm like, boom, let me go ahead and pull up Kobe's reading again. I rewatched it and I was like, oh, fuck. Because in these Kyrie reels, he's talking about, there was a clip, and I'm going to try to put it in here. These multiple reels that I'm talking about with Kyrie as well as LeBron. Um, Kyrie says in this one reel, he's talking about how he's channeling Kobe. And even the dude that was on, sorry for the ice machine, was on, I think, First Take with Stephen A. Smith, talking about how he's bringing being energy, right? This is what caught my ear today in that reel. And while I was like, let me go ahead and pull up Kobe. Let me re-pull that up, completely forgetting what Kobe Bryant's chart was. And so that's what happened. And as somebody who just can barely even watch Kyrie Irving reels without getting teary eyed, because the man is pure heart and soul, and I just love him. Like, I've become a super fan of him because of his spiritual authority. Like I said, you guys can think what you want. Like, that's fine. I don't care. I don't give two shits. That man is far more than a basketball player, and the numbers fucking prove it. He's magic. And again, even LeBron said this. He said, Kyrie's the wizard. That was, I hope I can find these clips again. Kyrie's the wizard. I've always called Kyrie the magic man. Go back to the video I just posted, but nope, you know what? Let's go over it right now. Let's talk about the life path number. We're going to go over Kyrie's, a little bit of Kobe's, bronze, and then we'll come back to Kobe. Let's talk about the life path number. The life path number is your destination energy. It's your purpose. It's why you're here. Most of us don't exhibit all of the attributes of our life path number until later on in life, so we all grow into that number. But our birthday number, that's our everyday energy, our journey energy, right? And that's the parts of us that never change from birth until death. And those go in to support that ultimate destination life path energy, okay? All right, so Kyrie is a life path 11. Master 11, master intuitive. Most 11s are very spiritual people, and they have spiritual gifts. It's divine connection. Look at the two ones. Boom, boom, right? Divine connection. It is, a lot of 11s are mediums, intuitives, empaths, psychics. Divinely connected, very spiritually connected people. They are connected to the ether just more directly, because everything's energy, right? So they have access to tap into energy a lot more easily. And they are a lot more spirit centered, right? Soulful. Okay, now Kyrie's birthday number is the 5. What is the 5? The 5 is joy, it's travel, it's sunshine, it's energy, it's beauty, mass appeal. It is pizza for dinner or going out for dinner instead of a home cooked meal. It's dessert, it's pleasure, indulgence, it's the life of the party, it's fun, extracurricular things in life that you can't necessarily be sustained on, but you need for joy and happiness, right? But it's big time mass energy, mass appeal, beauty. So that's his everyday energy. His expression number is also 5. What is the expression number? That is how and why we do things based upon, of course, our numbers, but environmental factors, influences, so on and so forth, experiences. And so the way he does things is through his joy, wanting to spread light, energy, and mass appeal, right? Using that mass appeal. Now, his perception number, or what's called a personality number, is the 3. The 3 is the creative child, right? The 3 was divinely gifted. So the 3s have a creative ability. It's a gift. A lot of times it's musically inclined, but not always. That it is far more than just a gift or a talent. It is a divine talent, and you can tell, right? They've always just been that special kid. You ever meet a child and you're like, that one's been here before in somebody else's body? That old soul in a young body? That's the essence of the 3, right? So maybe like a prankster, and in certain positions can be man-childish. If it's in a high placement on a man's chart, it can be man-child energy, right? It's that youthful type energy, but there is a creative divine talent, right? And then his heart's desire number, of course, it's the 2, right? So the 2, like we said before, that's one of the lovers. That's the mother. It's love. It's unity. So Kyrie wants to manifest love and unity. It's his heart's desire, right? All right. Now here's where it got hairy today and where it took me a long time to get myself together, because I was like, oh shit. I saw him on that reel say he's channeling Kobe and realizing how close they were, and then seeing Kobe talk about how pretty much Kyrie's like his favorite mentee, you know? They just had that special connection. So when I went back today and rewatched my Kobe video from 3 years ago, to see that Kyrie and Kobe are both life path 11s and birthday 5s, right? And we'll go into the rest of Kobe's chart here in a second, but let's get LeBron over with. Because in this clip that I saw of LeBron today, he's talking about, and it was on all social media, where he's talking about how he hates, like he's not Kyrie's teammate right now, right? And he also said that Kyrie was the wizard, right? Okay. Let's talk about Bron's chart. So Bron is a life path 1. That's the father, the alpha, right? It's the leader, the first of the leader. You know, kind of oddball, off on his own, isolates, that sort of thing. And he's the daily 3. Remember we talked about that man-child energy in a high placement? Yeah, he's got that divine gift, but he's always going to be kind of immature in ways, right? Even though that is an old soul in there. In this placement as a high 3, yeah, it's great talent, it's divine talent, but it's a high 3. He's never going to get out of that man-child phase. Now, his expression is the 9. The 9 is, like we said before, it's the omega. It's the closer. It is it's the healer, and it's the shapeshifter, right? So 9's in an expression that's going to be, they are moving in a way that they're like a chameleon, A 9 in an expression placement is a chameleon, somebody who becomes who they need to be for that particular environment. Okay? Because again, how and why we do things, that's our expression. How he does things is as the 9, the shapeshifter, right? Does what he needs to do. Now, he's perceived as the 7, so our perception number is not always what we are, it's how we're perceived. So he's perceived as secretive, as a protector, as a leader, executive producer type person, but has secrets, right? And then here's the big one right here. We recognize this. His heart's desire. Well, what did we say that the heart's desire was? It's what we want to manifest. It's what we want out of life. It's what we want to be, right? He wants to be the 11, but he's not. But who is the 11? Kyrie and Kobe are both 11s. Now let's talk about, and they're both 5s too. Let's talk about the rest of Kobe's chart, that 9. That 9, 999. There's only one other chart that I've done with the 999 like this, and it was another one of those kind of groundbreaking, memorable days for me in numerology, and that was the chart of Chadwick Boseman, which is also, I'll put that link on here too if you guys want to see it. That was, that was the chart that taught me that the 9 is a sponge. That 9 is the healer, is the sponge. The 9s want everybody to win. They give so much of themselves. They have to put their oxygen masks on first. They don't have the natural filters that the rest of us judgmental assholes have. The 9s understand that hurt people. And sometimes they can be too susceptible to energy vampirism. And that's all that I'll say with regards to that. When you have 3 of them, 3 of your 5 numbers are that open sponge energy chart. We need the 9s. They're the healers. They're the ones that can transmute their energy so much more easily into ours. Those that are healers, literally, that's what they're doing. And they're also taking on that energy, that toxicity from others. And 9s have to learn how to cleanse themselves and protect themselves as well with energy. Kobe had 3 9s in his chart. He wanted to save humanity. He was a warrior, just like Kyrie. 11-5, 11-5. Come down to help humanity in the form of a fucking basketball player. A crazy ass legendary basketball player. To help humanity. Look at the shit that Kobe was working on, Look how Kyrie is very, vegan. He wants to be them, but he's not. LeBron wants to be an 11, but he's not. Kyrie and Kobe. So, if you keep in mind the fact that everything and everyone is energy, and you keep in mind the fact that energy never dies, it merely transforms. And I know this personally from when my father passed away less than 24 hours after his funeral. He showed me and my family the biggest sign. And I have videos, there's a whole story behind it. And I knew in that moment, he was what he always was, what he's always meant to become again, which was source energy. They're still here with us. We are all a part of that energy. So when Kyrie Irving is saying that he is channeling Kobe Bryant, they are the same. They are the same. And these numbers transmute into those numbers. These are like wild cards. They'll. I'm proud of myself. I haven't broken down. Kyrie Irving is absolutely channeling Kobe Bryant, and I'm blown away by it because I know the numbers. I did Kobe's chart 3 years ago. Like I'm blown the fuck away because now I see it in energy, and I've been thinking so much like, why am I so obsessed with Kyrie? Like everybody loves him now and all of that, but like, yeah, I know him through his numbers, and knowing somebody through their numbers is a completely different, more personal way of knowing them than anything, you know? Not only is his life path number 11, but not only is his jersey number 11, he was born at 111, you know, like he is that master intuitive. He's that divinely connected master intuitive. He can connect to spirit, connect to ether, connect to energy directly, a lot more directly than the rest of us, right? And he's the same as Kobe. They're the same, right? And then these are the wild cards. They turn into whatever. Kyrie was Kobe's favorite. You heard it. Like, if I can include that video, like, Kyrie was Kobe's favorite mentee. That was his boy. They were one and the same. Like, and then now, like, this is the part that kills me, guys. This is the part that kills me right here, right? Through Kyrie channeling this, like, fuck. Through Kyrie channeling Kobe. Kobe still gets to play. Kobe still gets to play. Talk about a fucking epic life story for the both of them. Everything is energy. Kobe's still here. And I'm one of the only people on the planet that can see it through this. And that's why Kyrie is so special. Somebody please else, somebody else please explain to me how a 6'1" man is dominating the entire league to become one of the best who ever did it, even according to LeBron. If not for divine supernatural powers and abilities through his boy and through energy, through spirit. I keep saying this is so much more than basketball happening. And I just like want you guys to see it through my eyes. I want you to see like the full beautiful story that it is. Like, I can't wait for humanity to wake up out of the matrix. I can't wait for you, the ones that don't get it and don't see it. I can't wait for you to start to see it, you know. It's incredible. Such a beautiful story. And I celebrate and just everything about the both of them. I'm so grateful. Thank God for Kobe Bryant. Thank God for Tiana. Thank God for Kyrie. Those that sacrificed, you know, to come down, and as souls, you know, we choose. We choose our lives. We choose. We have soul contracts. We agreed. So I just am honored to be able to tell a story, and I'm grateful for anybody who can appreciate it and who can see it from my perspective, and what a beautiful thing that it is that Kobe still gets to play through Kyrie. He lives on. We don't die. We merely transform. And then we gain our superpowers in full. So while Kyrie is channeling Kobe and Kobe is getting to play, wow. You've got Brown on the side, wanting to be what he can never be, and hating that he's not playing with him. So, not everybody can be chosen. And Kobe was chosen. Kyrie was chosen. LeBron wasn't. Go Mavs.